44 forecast first.
A beautiful night tonight. Clear skies, quiet conditions, and temperatures in the 70s. 74 right now in Waco, 79 in College Station, and Austin checks in right at 74 degrees. Your forecast first will keep it clear, quiet, and 71 degrees at midnight. 65 cool degrees to start the day tomorrow, and sunshine at 9 and 67 degrees. A really nice looking weekend with temperatures a little bit below normal, but some changes are moving our way. The tropics are acting up, and I'll show you the very latest coming up in a few minutes. Fox 44 News starts right now.
Coming up on Fox 44 News at 9, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has died at 87. We take a look back at her legacy. And following the recent deaths, lawmakers touring Fort Hood today. We'll show you what changes they're proposing. Also, Baylor's football season opener has been postponed again. I'll tell you what happened this week.
Live from Waco, Temple, and Killeen, your news now. This is Fox 44 News at 9.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for Fox 44 News at 9. I'm Adam Hooper. We start tonight with the death of U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. For more than 2 decades, she used her keen intellect to solve some of the biggest legal puzzles of our time, all while battling cancer in several different forms. Fox's Shannon Bream takes a look back at the life and legend of the law.
I, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, do solemnly swear.
She might have seemed small in stature, but as the second woman to be nominated to the U.S. Supreme Court, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a trailblazer for women's rights and a champion for civil liberties. Ginsburg was born Ruth Joan Bader on March 15, 1933, in a working-class neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York, the daughter of Nathan and Celia Bader. She finished first in her class at Cornell University, where she met and married Martin Ginsburg, an aspiring lawyer, and, quote, the first boy I dated who cared that I had a brain. Like her husband, Ginsburg pursued a law degree, enrolling at Harvard after the birth of daughter Jane, then at Columbia Law School, where she graduated at the top of her class. She stayed in the world of academia, and while a professor at Rutgers University, she gave birth to a son, James. But she soon left Rutgers for Columbia University to become that school's first female tenured law professor. She described the 1970s as a fruitful time for women's rights.
I was fantastically lucky to be born when I was and to be in the right place to help advance this movement for women's equality.
She went on to create the American Civil Liberties Union's Women's Rights Project, and as general counsel for the ACLU, Ginsburg began appearing before the Supreme Court. She argued 6 cases for women's rights before President Jimmy Carter nominated her to serve on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. Then, in 1993, President Bill Clinton nominated her to the nation's highest court. She was only the second woman to serve on the Supreme Court and the first Jewish woman.
What a long way we have come in this nation.
After a series of hearings, the Senate confirmed Ginsburg to the post by a vote of 96-3.
In Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I believe the nation is getting a justice who will be a guardian of liberty for all Americans and an ensurer of equal justice under law.
On the bench, Ginsburg was known to lean left of center, but favored caution and restraint in her decisions. While she never claimed to have a favorite opinion.
My favorite opinion, well, it's a little bit like asking me which of my 4 grandchildren.
Ginsburg said the ruling in the Virginia Military Institute case, which prohibited the state from operating an all-male institution with taxpayer dollars, gave her tremendous satisfaction.
That was a very satisfying opinion for me to write.
And her dissent in Ledbetter v. Goodyear Tire was a precursor for the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act, which Congress passed into law in 2009 to address a perceived pay gap between men and women. And throughout her life, she remained an optimist.
We still have a way to go to ensure that all people in our land enjoy the equal protection of the laws. But considering how far we have come, there is good cause for optimism about our country's future.
Members of Congress visited Fort Hood as part of the congressional review on the Post. Fox 44's Cameron Stewart heard from the state's reps, and he joins us now from the newsroom. Cameron, what problems did they identify?
Well, Adam, they said the problems have not been limited to 2020 on Fort Hood and say that there's been suspicious activity going on at the post for years now. 5 members of Congress from 4 different states were on hand as part of a subcommittee looking into the culture inside Fort Hood. The state reps visited the barracks and called living conditions shameful. As part of their tour, they even followed the tracks of Specialist Vanessa Guillen, where she was last seen before she was killed. With Fort Hood making changes at the top of their command, the members of Congress hope they will be able to deliver on the promises they made to them, but changes to the systemic failures will take time.
We extend our hand in partnership to this new command, and I believe them when they say they want to bring change, they want to reestablish trust. But a program isn't going to do it. A short period of time isn't going to fix it. These are deep systemic problems that we have just begun to explore.
It is our charge to be in efficient and effective pursuit of the truth. That is exactly what we will do. We will not go AWOL on these dedicated servicemen and women or the surviving family members of victims.
Coming up at 9:30, hear what the congressmen and women feel is the best way to start affecting change on Fort Hood. Live in the newsroom, I'm Cameron Stewart, Fox 44 News.
Thanks, Cameron. For a second straight week, Baylor will not be able to play their football season opener because of positive COVID-19 tests. Last week, Louisiana Tech got hit with COVID-19 in the wake of Hurricane Laura. But this week, it was Baylor who fell below the conference mandate threshold. Matt Roberts joins us in the studio with what that means.
Hey, Adam. Well, the Big 12 teams are required to test 3 different times throughout the week, the last of which comes every Friday or the day before each contest. And Baylor fell below the minimum players required to compete by the conference. As a reminder, here are what those numbers look like. The Big 12 requiring you must have 53 players. That includes 7 offensive linemen, 4 interior defensive linemen, so those are your defensive tackles, the bigger-bodied defensive players, and 1 quarterback. So Baylor did not specify which threshold they fell below, only that it was one of those that would not allow them to compete and led to a second cancellation of their season opener. Baylor Director of Athletics Mack Rhodes saying today in a statement, the loss of this game is a devastating blow, but in the interest of health and safety of our student athletes, we believe we made the necessary decision. He also thanked Houston for their support and understanding, and they will still honor the future home-and-home matchup between these 2 programs. Again, this is a postponement is what Baylor is calling it, but the odds of something being rescheduled for this year are obviously very slim, with Baylor's Big 12 slate beginning next weekend at home, again, fingers crossed, against the Kansas Jayhawks, and the teams don't have any common bye weeks. But before that game next week, remember, both of these teams, just like every week so far for Big 12 teams, both teams are going to have to pass the protocols and pass those tests in order to play each other. So, again, supposed to open up next week against Kansas, but we'll keep our fingers crossed until then. I'll have more on this in Fox 44 First Sports. Until then, though, Adam, send it back over to you.
Thanks, Matt. Lampasas County deputies are investigating the area after an unidentified charred remains were found. Fox 44's Kendall Green went there to find some answers.
Adam, multiple agencies began their investigation here at the Tex-Mex Concrete Company that you see right here behind me, but we weren't able to get too close because it is private property.
Lampasas Sheriff deputies back on the scene where they found charred remains in a burnt pickup truck near Coppers Cove Thursday afternoon. Deputies located a 4-door Ford pickup in a lower gravel pit behind the business, completely incinerated with what they believe to be human remains inside. Sheriff Jess Ramos says the state they found it in makes identifying who it belongs to a bit of a challenge.
No license plates on it whatsoever. Even the hood of the vehicle was completely burned off.
He calls the nature of this investigation, quote, extremely rare, noting that in his career spanning nearly 4 decades, this doesn't happen often.
They do happen. I have worked cases like this before. They do happen, but they are rare.
A jarring detail catching the attention of investigators is the weapon deputies located in the vehicle along with the remains.
There was a pistol found on the seat, and it appears to be a semi-auto. Don't know the make of it yet.
Though no concrete conclusions have been made in the investigation, that pistol leaves room for speculation among authorities.
When you find a pistol on the scene, right away you think it may be self-inflicted, but we don't know for sure. It is an ongoing investigation, and right now there's not any reason to believe there was another vehicle out there where there might have been somebody else involved.
Lampasas County deputies are leading this investigation while being assisted by Coppers Cove Police and Fire Departments, Lampasas Police and Fire Departments, and the Texas Rangers, while fire marshals work to determine the cause of the fire as well.
Now, authorities tell me that they're still working to confirm if these were indeed human remains, and if they were, they will soon be working on an identification. But for now, reporting in Lampasas County, Kendall Green, Fox 44 News.
Nearly 4,000 new cases of coronavirus reported across the Lone Star State today, with 123 more deaths. McLennan County reporting 92 cases today, bringing the total number to date over 7,400. About 456 are active cases. The county also reporting 5 new deaths. Bell County reporting 11 new cases today. More than 4,800 residents have recovered, with about 269 active cases. With the election less than 50 days away, officials in Travis County, Texas are working to secure additional polling places. One of their plans is to use live music venues, many of which are still closed because of statewide shutdown orders. Travis County will make 5 mega centers available during early voting. Those are, as the name suggests, large venues that can accommodate more people at once, and they will offer extended hours. Gyms, shopping centers, and for the first time ever, live music venues will be transformed into polling locations on November 3rd. The 2020 Voter Palooza takes place in Bell County tomorrow. From 10 in the morning until 6 in the afternoon, Bell County residents can head to this free voter registration event. Volunteers will register voters in real time from the safety and comfort of their vehicles. There will be 7 locations throughout the county to get folks ready for the November elections. You can find all of the information on fox44news.com. Right now, a puppy is safe after it became stuck inside a car. Temple Fire and Rescue say the owners found the pup inside of one of the suspensions of their car. The crew was able to lift the car, take it partially apart to help free the animal. After removing a tire and the underside of a fender well, they were able to remove the puppy injury-free. As you can see, the little guy was very happy, thankful to his rescuers. Coming up, we hear from the inspiration of Senator John Cornyn's bill on sexual abuse. Up next, passage of Jenna Quinn's law. And despite the pandemic, Border Patrol agents across the state are seeing an increase in commercial trade.
This is Fox 44.